Stefanovic is also in his second appearance, however since March, since July 26th. Making her way to center where a humongous 3 points are on the table for the Eastern Conference. Toronto FC II, 7th place in the Eastern Conference. NYCFC II, they are in 8th. These are the last 2 teams currently in the playoff picture, as there are 5 teams all within a singular result away from overtaking either New York or Toronto. Ending that list with the 13th seeded Cincinnati, who are 3 points behind the 8th seeded NYCFC. They play Philadelphia, so this is a real opportunity for either of these two sides to not just take a win and continue the nice run of form that they've had. For Toronto, points in 3 of 4. For NYC, it's points in 3 of the last 4. For Toronto, it's points of 4 of the last 5. But also the desperation they have to keep their standing in the table. There's an opportunity to not only stay above the playoff line, but for the loser, they threaten their opportunity to stay in the top 8 with an opportunity to drop with other results pending across the entirety of the league in MLS Next Pro. 15 combined shootout goals between Toronto FC 2 and Union 2, and 3 wins across the 4 prior to that. De Rosario's clearance, partially flubbed, makes its way back to Italo. Turned over at center. Sunia couldn't finish the reversal. Toronto want to start the attack. Edwards in front of Baera. Edwards across, too high. Barrow couldn't get there. So it is going to be the first goal kick for the man between the pipes for NYCFC, Alex Rando, who is the veteran on this New York side. Take another look as the attempted cross made by Nate Edwards. 2 seasons in Toronto for Nate Edwards, 4 seasons with NYCFC's Alex Rando. He sets off the goal kick. Stolen at center, Oldwin, Barrow. Around he goes, trying to find a lane. Quick shot, dribbles right to Rando. A nice little strip there. Oldwin in support, so the cycle continues for Toronto, just trying to utilize the width. As that was cut through, Malik Henry gave it a go. Malik Henry, a first-team loanee after signing his contract at the beginning of the month on the 9th. This is his first appearance with the second team since July 27th. De Rosario's out of his box. Has help in the form of Stefanovic, makes it up for Henry. Stolen away, NYC. Maximo Carrizo charging ahead. Fed to center, rebound, saved by De Rosario. Cleared away by Toronto. NYC will throw, but a beautiful save by De Rosario to keep this game scoreless. Nice cycle by NYC. For Atlanta to get themselves into this playoff race. They were 14th in the East not that long ago, and they've won 4 of their last 5 since, which actually started in a 3-1 victory for Atlanta here in York against Toronto, which helped the transformation of Atlanta into a playoff-threatening team against either of these two. For Toronto, they have 2 more games on the wing. While Columbus has been eliminated from playoff contention, New England, as we just showed earlier, recently won in penalties, but they are right on the heels of Chicago for a potential home playoff date. NYC, they have to play both New York and Chicago. As we mentioned, 4 or 5, both desperate to host, don't want to go on the road. Pushing forward, Edwards recovers back. In front, Edwards scores! Nate Edwards knocks it in! Toronto opened the scoring! This play starts by the breakout pass from Nate Edwards. The attempted tackle by Murray. And taking the corner is Ayari. Scooped in, headed up and over. Marcus Simmermansich on the receiving end. But a nice attempt for Toronto. Can't really complain about that one, that just is what it was. Final 5 minutes of the half. Eliash launches it. Luka Sunyak's one-on-one. Sunyak's alone, but stopped by Di Rosario. What an opportunity for Luka Sunyak. He was one-on-one with Di Rosario, lost Stefanovic as he was very much inward. Turnover, Muzu from range, off the post, and out. Italo recovers. He had the ricochet on the toe from Murray. This was the chance on the other end with Muzu from range. I was off the post. Two huge opportunities for New York. None could be converted as they're still down by one. Maybe a chance for Toronto to double down. This one's rainbowed in. Edwards holds on. Edwards centers. Ayari blocked by Murray. Most likely take this one to the break with a 1-0 lead, and they will. 1-0 favoring Toronto FC II. Left to right are Toronto in the red as we return from half in Toronto, where they have the 1-0 lead running the entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew. We thank you for joining us here, where it has been a very eventful first half where there have been opportunities on both ends of the pitch, a combined 16 shot attempts between the two sides. However, 5 of those 11 shot attempts for Toronto have been within frame, 3 of 5 for NYC, with the lone goal coming to Nate Edwards in the 23rd minute, as the first whistle is won right off the jump, only 30 seconds in. This gives us an opportunity to introduce our officiating crew. Melvin Christopher, the head official in the yellow. Rida Fazazi and Mehmet Sen are the assistant referees, and Fabrizio Stasola is our 4th official. Down the line it comes from Malik Henry. Second try, elevated, Simmermansich. Pivots to free up room. Return, Simmermansich across from Murray, takes a shot and scores! Only a minute after the return from half, Simmermansich doubles the lead for Toronto. What a way to start the half for Toronto. Simmermansich started the breakout. Tossed in, Fisher jostling with Muzu, frees up Eliash, but couldn't find a lane for Walker. Fourteen shots attempted for Toronto versus the 7 for NYC. They've had a good amount of control in this game so far, are the Young Reds. Not just in the scoreline, but in pretty much every other metric so far in this game as it comes across Hassan Ayari. Ayari charges ahead, Edwards outward, deflected out of play off of Bayera last. So it will be second corner of the half for Toronto, number 8 in today's match. Ayari to serve. Circled in, headed out by Era, back. Olguin from deep. Fisher, center. Couldn't get the hit. Henry lays it out, second try. Olguin, aside, Simmermanchit's got a brace. Simmermanchit sizzles by as he's got 2. Toronto with 3. He is red hot, Marcus Simmermanchit. Today. NYC have to play Chattanooga eventually at the end of September, but first they have to go into Chicago, hosting New England in the end of the season at Subaru Park to play Philadelphia Union. Comes across, Carrizo, blocked in front, Toronto escapes. Edwards accelerates. Ayari with room, centering, behind the back of Nolan. But Nolan back in front, Simmermanchit on 2. Gets help. Stojadinovic steps in. Stojadinovic! Just missed the net. What a try from Marko Stojadinovic. We talked about how in the first half, they were just trying to test Rando early on with those long-distance tries, but that was a whip from Marko Stojadinovic, the third-year man from Brampton, already a career-high 2 goals, wanting to add a third. Surprised he didn't maybe try to go for Simmermanchit, trying to go for a third in today's game. "20 minutes remain in regulation. Julian Locker. Return feed, Ampansa. Tiao with Eliash. Muzu. Full steam ahead, Jamari Nolan, acres of room. Nolan, full steam ahead, Jamari Nolan! Stopped by Rando, second try, Rando keeps it off the line. Jamari Nolan, full steam ahead, fresh legs coming off of the bench, has only been in the game for maybe 5 minutes and had Rando one-on-one. But now New Yorker on the other end with Julian Locker, he's got 3. Locker widens, Carrizo twirls. Lays it back, Molinari. Help comes for New York. Carrizo, centered, blocked. Stojadinovic in the way. This portion of the match is brought to you by MasterCard, proud sponsor and fan of Toronto FC II. New England is the next opponent for Toronto, coming off of a shootout loss against Chicago Fire, who are New York City's next opponent. Both of them on the road next time out. Toronto will go to Gillette Stadium. For NYC, it'll be at SeatGeek Stadium. Down the line it goes, Max Carrizo. Carrizo tries to generate something, but he's cut off by McDonald. Nice passing to spring forward. Centrally placed Nolan. Turnaround whipped. Iliadis. Iliadis on Tiao. Centering feed. Simmermanchit denied. Still loose. Couldn't get the tip in, and it's cleared out by New York. Away from a hat trick for Simmermanchit and a golden opportunity. What a feed by Iliadis to set up Simmermanchit, and a beautiful save by Red. It's merely adding to more momentum for the Young Reds. Drop for Tiao. Toronto just trying to run out the clock. And we end today's match the way we began, with celebrations in Toronto